Daniel stood upright in Mr. Okafor's sitting room, his palms sweating even though the evening breeze flowed freely through the open windows. Ada sat beside him, her fingers trembling slightly as she squeezed his hand for courage. Her mother, Mrs. Okafor, watched them closely, her eyes sharp with a mix of concern and curiosity. "Yes, sir," Daniel began, clearing his throat, his voice steady but humble. "I love your daughter deeply. Ada is my peace, my prayer, and my future. I am here today to ask for her hand in marriage, with respect and sincerity." Mr. Okafor leaned back, studying Daniel's face. "Young man," he said slowly, "love is not enough. How do I know you won't hurt my daughter when life becomes hard?" Daniel swallowed. "Sir, I won't pretend marriage is easy, but I promise to always choose Ada, even on difficult days." Mrs. Okafor sighed softly. "Ada, look at me," she said. "Is this truly what you want?" Ada lifted her head confidently. "Yes, Mommy.
Yes, Mommy,
I love
him.
Daniel.
I trust him."
I trust him." That night, Ada lay on her bed, phone pressed to her ear as she spoke excitedly with her friends. "Nenka, I'm scared but happy," Ada whispered. Nenka laughed loudly from the other end. "Scared ko? This is the man you've prayed for. Just imagine your wedding Osoebi already." Amoka joined the call, teasing, "Better start practicing how to call him my husband without blushing." Ada laughed, covering her face. "You people should rest. But please promise you'll stand with me on my wedding day." "Stand," Nenka replied. "We'll shut the place down." Days later, Daniel sat with his best friend, Tond, at a quiet bar. "Guy, are you ready for marriage?"
Guy,
Tond asked seriously.
are you ready for
Daniel
marriage?
exhaled. "I love Ada.
I love
want
Ada.
this. I just
I
want to
want
do
this.
things right."
I just want to do things right.
Tond nodded. "Then protect that love.
Then protect
Marriage
that
tests
love.
everything."
Marriage
The wedding
tests
day arrived in
everything.
color and music. Ada stepped out in her ashobi, radiant, her friends surrounding her like queens. Nenka adjusted her geli proudly. "Look at our bride, oh." Daniel no fit escape this one. At the altar, Daniel's eyes softened when he saw Ada. "I promise," he said during his vows, voice thick with emotion, "to choose you every day, even when words fail me." Ada smiled through tears. "I promise to stand with you, in silence and in storms." And as they walked out hand in hand, no one knew that their vows, though beautiful, would soon be tested by truths left unspoken. Marriage settled into Ada and Daniel like a gentle rhythm. Their mornings were filled with laughter and soft arguments over breakfast. "Ada, you'll be late for work again," Daniel said one morning, tightening his tie as he watched her struggle with her shoes. "So?" Ada replied playfully. "My husband will drop me." Daniel smiled, pulling her close. "I'll always drop you, even when life becomes heavy." They visited parties together, hands locked tightly, dancing as though the world was watching only them. At family gatherings, Ada glowed with pride whenever Daniel greeted her parents respectfully. "Mommy, Daddy," Daniel would say, bowing slightly. Mr. Okafor would nod. "Take care of my daughter, always, sir," Daniel replied, meaning every word. 5 months into the marriage, one quiet evening changed the tone, but not the love. Ada rested her head on Daniel's chest as they lay in bed. "Daniel," she said softly, tracing circles on his arm, "have you ever thought about children?" Daniel didn't stiffen. Instead, he kissed her forehead gently. "Of course I have. I want kids, Ada.
Ada.
I really do." She looked up at him, hopeful. "Then maybe we can start trying." Daniel sighed, choosing his words carefully. "My love, not now. I want us to be more stable first. Work has been unpredictable. I want our children to come into comfort." Ada studied his face. "You're not saying no, just not now." He nodded. "Exactly. Please trust me." She smiled slowly. "Okay. I trust you. What Ada didn't know was that Daniel had already started visiting doctors alone, sitting in quiet clinics, asking questions he was too afraid to speak out loud at home. 2 years passed with love still alive. Ada's friends noticed it. Your marriage is sweet, oh, Nenka said during a girls' night out. Ada laughed. Daniel still makes me feel chosen, but do you ever feel worried about kids? Amoka asked carefully. Ada shook her head. We talk about it. He wants them too. Meanwhile, Daniel confided only in tone. I'm scared. Daniel admitted one night of what? Of failing her. Of disappointing her. Ton sighed. Secrets don't stay buried forever. Then the cracks came, small at first. Arguments over time, over visits, over silence. You don't talk like before, Ada said one evening, her voice trembling. Daniel replied, frustrated, I'm under pressure, Ada. Can't you see? Pressure turned into insults, blame, and distance. Ada leaned more on her friends. Daniel withdrew into himself. And then one afternoon, while cleaning, Ada found hospital test results tucked carelessly inside Daniel's drawer. She stared at the paper, her heart pounding. This can't be mine, she whispered. That was when she realized Daniel had been fighting a battle alone. And their silent vows were about to be tested in ways neither of them imagined. The truth didn't break them the way Ada once feared. Instead, it forced them to sit across from each other in silence, hands locked tightly, eyes heavy with unshed tears. So, all those years, Ada said slowly, her voice calm but wounded, you were carrying this alone. Daniel nodded, his head lowered. I was scared, Ada.
I was scared, Ada.
I didn't want to lose you.
I didn't want to lose you.
She swallowed hard. But you let me feel like I was the problem, I know, he whispered. And that will haunt me forever. They went to the hospital together this time. No secrets. No hidden appointments. The doctor cleared his throat, flipping through files. Medically speaking, he said carefully, Daniel cannot impregnate any woman naturally. Ada squeezed Daniel's hand tighter. So it was never me, she said quietly. Daniel broke down. I should have protected you. Instead, I let you carry the blame. Ada wiped his tears. We failed each other. But we are still here. They chose love over bitterness. Days turned into weeks. They prayed together, laughed together, made love without pressure, without counting days or calculating ovulation. Even if it's just us, Daniel said one night, holding her close, I thank God every day for you. Ada smiled sadly. And I thank him for keeping us standing. Still, Daniel couldn't stop searching for answers. He visited doctors quietly again, not to hide, but to understand. Is there really nothing? He asked one doctor desperately. The doctor sighed. Sometimes miracles come when science gives up. Life continued. Ada went to work, smiling through quiet aches. Nenka had a baby boy, and Ada visited often. Come and carry him, Nenka said happily. Ada held the baby gently, her eyes shining. He's beautiful, you'll be next, Nenka said casually. Ada smiled, but later cried in Daniel's arms that night. Then one evening changed everything. Daniel walked into the house and froze. Ada stood by the sink, staring at plates in her hands, her face pale, her body weak. Ada. Daniel rushed to her. What's wrong? I don't know, she whispered. I feel dizzy and tired. Daniel's heart raced. The next morning, Daniel rushed to the hospital to pick up results from his latest test. The doctor glanced at the paper. The doctor checked again. His face changed. Oh my, this result belongs to another Daniel. Daniel's smile faded. His heart dropped. He ran home confused, until he found Ada sitting quietly on the bed. I went to the hospital too, she said softly. Daniel froze. They ran tests, Ada continued, her hands shaking. Daniel. I'm pregnant. Silence filled the room. Then Daniel fell to his knees, crying uncontrollably. God! You didn't forget us. Ada held him tightly. We didn't give up. Their silent vows had been tested, bent, and bruised, but never broken. And this time, hope spoke louder than fear. Pregnancy did not come quietly into Ada's life, it arrived with waves of emotions, sudden cravings, and tears that appeared without warning. One moment she was laughing, the next she was overwhelmed by smells from the kitchen. Daniel, please, she said one evening, holding her stomach, I need boiled yam, but not just yam. It has to be soft, very soft. Daniel rushed up instantly. Yes, my queen. Anything else? She paused, then frowned. And cold orange juice. Very cold. Daniel smiled nervously. At this hour. Ada looked at him. He was already grabbing his car keys. Daniel treated Ada like fragile glass. Ada, sit down, Ada, don't bend, Ada, I'll do it. She laughed sometimes. Daniel, I'm pregnant, not broken. But Daniel shook his head. After all we went through, I won't take chances. Her friends came around often. Nenka walked in one afternoon and burst out laughing. Oh! Is this how they pamper pregnant women? Ada smiled from the couch, pillows stacked behind her. Daniel replied proudly, she won't lift a spoon in this house. Amoka whispered to Ada, enjoy it oh, don't complain. Soon, both mothers arrived. Mrs. Okafor stepped in first, scanned the house, and said firmly, Ada, stand up from that kitchen now. Daniel's mother nodded. She should not be doing anything. Ada tried to protest. Mommy, I can sit, both women said together. Daniel stood quietly, grateful. For once, he wasn't the only one guarding her. The months passed. Ada's belly grew, and so did Daniel's fear and excitement. At night, he talked to the baby. My little miracle, he whispered, resting his hand gently on Ada's stomach, you saved us. Ada watched him with tears in her eyes. The day of delivery came with tension and prayers. Daniel paced the hospital corridor, hands shaking, whispering scriptures. Then the cry came, strong and loud. The nurse smiled. It's a boy. Daniel broke down completely. As the child grew, the house filled with new sounds, tiny laughter, midnight cries, and soft lullabies. Daniel learned to change diapers clumsily. Ada washed him once and laughed. You're holding him like a fragile document. Daniel smiled. After everything, he is. Silent vows had finally spoken, through love, patience, and a child born from faith. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Let me know in the comments, what part moved you the most.